Welcome to our call, everybody, about making the most of vendor events. The lovely Jill Knerr is navigating our PowerPoint tonight, and she's going to get us started. Jill?
Thank you, Dawn. I'm excited about this topic too, and I'm excited to be teamed up with Dawn because we recently did a vendor event together, and we've sort of been looking for other opportunities, and it's exciting to have somebody who you collaborate with and team up with on these things. So we got a lot of questions recently about our vendor experience. So some of this, I think some of you have seen before, but we're going to kick it off, give you some tips and ideas. Basically, how to choose your events. You have to know your audience. Jill, it's not running. It's not clicking, it's not sharing? It says it's sharing.
Yeah, you go back and, well, first of all, it says protected view, which I don't know whether that.
Click at the top, click enable editing. Once you click that, see where it says protected view?
Okay, you mean in the PowerPoint?
Yes, click enable editing.
Yeah, but she thinks it's running. In her version, it's running.
Maybe. Hold on.
So,
there you go.
Now you've advanced the page, but you're not in run mode. You're in.
Yeah, so let me go into slides. Okay, wait.
There you go.
Taking out of protected mode. All right, girls, ladies, gentlemen. I think I got it now. Okay.
Super.
Are we advancing?
Yes.
Okay, great. So first we talk about just how to choose your events. Some of this might be obvious, but a good place for isogenics, health fairs, beauty and wellness events. School fairs, you know, we target a lot of moms who are low on energy, and I think there's also a good market with getting children healthy. You know, we have all the different audiences. And then Dawn and I have reached out to some just networking groups. We have one that's the Montgomery County Housewives, and they have networking happy hours where you can have booths and tables. So if you need help with some ideas, I'm actually working on this right now for Howard County, trying to find other groups that we can sort of link up with and have opportunities to get out and about.
But don't limit yourself. Like a scrapbooking, or like a holiday bazaar, a holiday Christmas bazaar at church, right? You're going to be the only booth of your kind there. You're going to get attention because everything else is going to be Christmas crafts. So don't be afraid to stick out like a sore thumb, because that's actually a good thing, right? It's actually a good thing and anything you can go to where your target demographic is going to be. Now, Jenna, that's going to be different for you than it is for me, maybe. So a place where there's a lot of young runners might be a good one for you, where a place where there's more, like if my target demographic was older women who need to lose weight, then I might go to, like I said, a scrapbooking convention or something, something a little bit more sedentary. So don't think it has to be a health fair. Community days are a great opportunity. Like just any chance to get in front of people really is a great opportunity. All right. And I'll take the second one. I said avoid first year shows. And like if the table's $50, who cares? If the table's $25, $50, $100, who cares? Go do anything. But if it's, some significant money, $250, $300, $400, that's when I say avoid the first year shows, because a first year show, they have no idea what their attendance is going to be. They don't have a track record. They don't have, it's hard to get a show off the ground, right? It's hard to create a show and get it off the ground and get the attendance up. And so sometimes making a major cost investment in a first year show isn't necessarily a good idea. All right, Jill, go ahead.
Same thing, whether it's worth your investment for a table and booth cost. This is just from my experience. Especially if you're teaming up with somebody, if you want to go up to $250, $300 and you're splitting the cost, that's one thing. But if you're going to $500 plus, you need to really feel like you're going to get a lot of exposure, a lot of prospects, in my mind, because it starts getting pretty pricey. But as Dawn said, really, and this is repeating her, it doesn't matter what the event is, any opportunity to get in front of people and connect is a good opportunity. I'll also bring up bridal shows. There are also a lot of bridal shows, and people always want to lose weight for the wedding dress. They want to lose weight for the honeymoon. There's just, you just sort of think a little outside the box, but I think everybody can use what we have. Top tips, Dawn, why don't you kick this off? I would call them Dawn's top tips.
Okay, so the natural inclination that we all have is to have a lot of samples out, right? Because that's how you want to get people to try the product and sample the product. What I have found, and it is, and because I found this on both sides, right? And Jill and I actually had a conversation about this, is that when people come to a trade show, they will, there's a lot of people, pretty big percentage of the people that they're just coming to each booth to pick up the free stuff that's there, the free pens, the free magnets, the free staplers or first aid kits or whatever it is, and the catalogs, whatever. They pick up all that stuff. They go from booth to booth to booth. They won't even stop to talk to you. They're just there to grab the free stuff off the table. They put it on their bag, and then when they get home, they take all the paper and the brochures and all the stuff that they picked out, and they throw it away. And then they put the pencils in their pencil holder and the magnets on their refrigerator, and maybe they eat the chocolate, but they don't even know where the chocolate came from at that point, right? And so I don't know that it's necessarily a good investment or good use of your money to put a lot of samples out. I bring samples so that when I'm talking to somebody and I feel like I really connected with them, I'll actually dig down under the table and I'll say, oh, I actually have an e-shot. Here, try this afternoon and see if it, you said that you're walking around this show and you're really exhausted. Here, try this, see if it doesn't pick you up, right? Same with the Ice of Delights or a bar or whatever. And the catalogs, again, with that trade show mentality of stuff everything in your bag and throw it away when you get home. I put one of each of the catalogs that are, you know, brochures that I like out on the table, but I only put one out. And I don't, and they say, oh, do you have any more of these? I say, no, but I can send you a link because I don't want them to walk away and think they know everything. I want their contact information so I can send them a link of what I think they need, and so I can follow up with them. If they walk away with my brochure, there's no way for me to follow up with them, right? I mean, you never hand somebody your business card and hope that they'll call you. I mean, the percentage, the amount of times people actually call you is maybe 1 out of 100, or you want their contact information. So I purposely don't have any brochures or anything out on the table because I want them to be waiting for my communication. That's the link to give them the information. So use big visuals to attract people to your table. We actually have this on the next screen, right, Jill? So we'll talk about that. A lot of the things that we've done at, that Robin and I have done at trade shows, we've done a lot of kind of creative and kooky stuff. That's a lot of fun. But, you know, do something that's going to attract their attention. Have a teammate, have more than one teammate, if at all possible. I always make sure that we have enough to man the booth plus one, because you want one person to be able to go out and network with the other vendors, right? So you want to get to the show early, get set up early. Like you want to be set up, you want to be in there and set up the earliest they let you in, because your time to network with those vendors is while they're waiting for the guests to show up, and while they're waiting to set, you know, while they're setting up, you can help them set up, you know, help them tape something down, or, you know, offer to help because you're all set up and ready to go. That's your time to work with the other vendors. And then, because while the show is going on, you can have somebody walking around, but those vendors, they're busy and they're talking and they're doing their thing. You can still continue to network with them and find out more about what they do. But the best time is before the show even starts, right? Because after the show, everybody just wants to go home. And so, and then, and you want to spell each other, because it can be exhausting. Working a trade show, if you're there more than a few hours, it can be really long. So you want to make sure that you are able to spell each other. Swag bags, find out if the event has swag bags, if you can pay to get in the swag bag, and you can pay to put, you know, an item in there, either a coupon for a free health consultation or e-shot, or, you know, whatever it might be. You want to get in the bag or get in the program with something free if at all possible. This is a big one. So because we've done everything, right, Robin? We've made all these mistakes. We've done it every which way to Sunday. And we've done stacks of, like, we would have a 30-day stacked up on the table, right? And have all the products and whatever. But a lot of people, they walk by, their eyes just glaze over. They're like, oh, more supplements. And they just walk right by. They won't even stop because it just looks like a whole bunch of supplements to them. And you're not there to sell shakes or nutritional supplements anyway. That's not why you're there. You're there to connect with people. You're there to talk to people, connect with people, find their pain point, and then write it down. You know, you've got your little card, they filled it out, you write, lady with the pink flower in her hair, said she can't sleep at night. Take a note on every single person you talk to, whatever their pain point was, and then set an appointment to talk later in the week. You don't want to talk to somebody for an hour. It's just like Eric Rory, it's the same thing. You want to talk to as many people as you can, enough to connect with them, find their pain point, tell them you know how they feel, you felt the same way, and you think you have a solution for them. Can you call them? Can we talk on Tuesday? Or can we talk next week? Yeah, we can. That would be great. We can talk next week. Great. What day is the best day for you? Make them set the appointment, just like Eric Rory always says. Make them set the appointment with you, because they're much more likely to show up and keep the appointment if they're the one that has chosen the date and the time. And and then you have them write it down on your little card, you know, fill it out, and then they get their appointment calendar, their little appointment card that Jill has. She'll show them at the end.
I was just going to add about having the teammate that if we had not both been at a table, we would have missed a lot of people. Because to even engage with somebody for a few minutes talking about what they're looking for, then you have to focus on them. And at the trade show, people will try and sort of slip by, or they won't wait. They'll just sort of come up and feel awkward and move on. So it's nice to have another person say, hello, you know, another person to be there to greet and engage with people. Otherwise, you do miss a lot of the traffic.
It's true.
Because they just sort of zip by. Okay, this is where Dawn has so many great ideas. I think some of you might have seen we did a raffle, and we did the big Wheel of Fortune, but I'm gonna let you sort of take it away, Dawn, because she could actually go on with like 50 more ideas on what we could do, but I'll let you take it away.
Okay, so we'll talk about the wheel in a minute. We did this for a trade show. We got a ton of attention. We hung a bunch of we actually had to go to Goodwill. We got a bunch of really big jeans and we hung them on a clothesline. We had a whole booth. This was a big show. It was the NBC Health and Fitness Expo. And we hung the jeans on a really big line. And then people stopped and said, are you selling jeans here? Like, what is this? And we said, oh, those are just the jeans that don't fit us anymore. Do you want to know how? What? You know, it doesn't matter. You just have to do something to get them to stop to talk to you. And hopefully generate, you know, that little more of the conversation. So that was a good one. We just hung a clothesline and we hung a bunch of big pairs of jeans on the clothesline. That was our booth decoration. We did a food show. We did the DC Metropolitan Food Show one year. This was one of our biggest shows, one of our most successful shows. And we had an 8x8 booth, and we took a big mirror, like a big standing mirror, right? And we wrote in lipstick, "Are you little black dress ready?" And then all of us were wearing our sassy little black dresses. You know, we all looked good. We were all really, you know, made up and hair and like looked like we were getting ready to go to a holiday party. This show happened to be right before Thanksgiving. And it was I don't know if Robin, if you're still on the call or you want to chime in.
I'm in.
Wasn't this one of our most successful shows that we've done?
It was so fun. And like my mom was there, man, in the booth, and she was wearing her black dress, and Aunt Camille was there and she was wearing her black dress. And we had a lot of people there because it was a lot of attendees. But yes, it was fun and effective.
Yeah. And so here's another one. This one works for summertime events. This one works for, you know, you're in a tent or you're outside. You take a big urn or a punch bowl or whatever, fill it with orange hydrate or lemon lime, whatever your flavor is, and make it pretty, like slice oranges and have them floating in it. So it looks pretty and appealing and attractive. And then what we do is we get tiny little Dixie cups and we fill them with the hydrate so that we've got the urn on the table, and then we fill the little Dixie cups and we put them on a tray. And to get people to stop, we actually go out in the aisle in where the traffic is. And we would say, remember, because hydrate used to be called want more energy, right? But you still can do it this way. Say, hey, want more energy? How about more energy? Anybody want more energy? And people will take the cup and they'll stop to talk to you. They'll sip it and they'll stop to talk to you because that's like the polite thing to do. Now that they've taken something from you, they have to stop and hear what you have to say, right? So that actually works really well. The sugar game, we haven't done this for a while, but super effective as well. We took 8 household products, like 8 everyday products: ketchup, a can of soda, a Cashy Go Lean bar, like supposedly healthy stuff, right? What else did we have there? We had a salad dressing. We had just like normal stuff. And then we took a ribbon and we attached sugar packets representing all of the sugar that was in each of the products. And so the ribbon hung in front of the product and like down the table and onto the floor. And people would stop and they're like, what is this? Is this like, what is this? And we'd say, you know, is it a game? And we're like, well, actually sugar's not a game. It's a game that, you know, manufacturers play. We can talk about that game. You know, how much sugar's in a Cashy Go Lean bar that you think is healthy? How much sugar's in ketchup that you don't even think about, right? And so it was an opportunity to start that conversation about sugar and you know, what sugar is doing to us as a society, and you know, and all of that. And it just got them to stop. It was really effective. Oh, this is something that Robin and I did recently, and it was actually it was fun. It was around Christmas time, and I took 4 of the isogenics, the box that like 4 shakes would come in, and I wrapped them up like really pretty. Like I wrapped them up with bows and, you know, pretty paper, and we took them, we stacked them up on the table. So there was this big stack of gifts, and we just had little cards like, give yourself the gift of health. Give yourself the gift of healthy aging. Give yourself the gift of energy. And then on one of them, it said, give your family the gift of a healthier, happier you, right? And people would stop just because there's a big pile of presents, and, you know, people like presents, and they stop just to say, like, what are these presents? It's all you want. It doesn't matter what you do. A 30-day out on the table doesn't get people to stop. A pile of presents that are wrapped really pretty with bows and little tags on them, that gets people to stop. So does anybody, let me stop here, because I know this is a lot of information. Does anybody have any questions? Does anybody have anything that they've done that's worked really well? I know I didn't use up all the good ideas. I know other people have done trade shows that have been successful.
Hey, Dawn, I didn't do this one, but I remember someone telling me that they did it before. I posted in DAR biz page the little cards with, I can look back at it. I forget exactly what it says, but it is, hold on, I'm looking at it. Oh, so it's an ISA show card. So if you look at it, it has them to put their name, their email, time of contact, and then their health goal. And you can put it in like a fishbowl thing, and you can like, so then you have their contact information, you have their goal, and then you could do a drawing to win something.
Yes. But don't do it without their information.
Right. Well, the cards are there.
Exactly. And try to pre-qualify them. Try to find out if they're really interested.
Yeah.
You don't want to waste your time. I mean, follow-up time is precious and it's important. And you don't want to waste your time following up with people who are just doing it to get your raffle. So you have to have had some of conversation with them to know that there's your, I mean, you can follow up with everybody, you never know, but who to prioritize you're following up with, right? I think that's, oh, and then the wheel. The wheel, we adopted the wheel. Robin and I were at a show recently, and the guy beside us was a lawyer. Like, it doesn't get more, like, I don't want to say it doesn't get more boring than that, because that's not very nice, but like, what is there to stop and talk to a lawyer about at a trade show? But he had a wheel, and every single person, and he had a wheel, and he was giving away little kids' toys because there was a lot of moms at the event, and his thing was family law. It was brilliant. Every time the wheel got spun, he would pull out this big Tupperware full of toys, and the kids were excited, and the moms were. It was brilliant. It was so simple. It didn't have anything to do with being a lawyer, right? but it got people to stop. It got him to be able to talk to them, and he got their contact information. So Jill and I did a wheel. Jill, do you have pictures of the wheel on here?
We do on one of these pages. I was just going to say what Jenna was saying, and what we did is to get a raffle ticket, to spin the wheel, to get a sample, whatever it is, they have to fill out the card. And we have an example of the card we did too, but that's key. I think that we'll have the wheel on the next one if you want to go into this idea, because I love this one.
Oh, I love this idea, you guys. I did this at one event. I'd like to do it at more events because I really think it's a good idea, and it really sets you apart from other vendors, especially if you're like at a health fair, right? And everybody's all serious about their health, and you're like, the shot bar is open, right? And you could do it like you just have it. You can just have a table, right? And then find really cute little shot glasses. So make it visually very clean and very appealing. However you're going to do it. It doesn't I'll leave the setup up to you, because honestly, you can figure it out. You just need shot glasses and a way to have each thing lined up, each product lined up. And this, it's okay to have product on the table, because you want the product beside the cup, right? And so you want to say, hey, what are you looking for? You know, do you want energy shot, a power shot, a detox shot, stress relief shot, a hydration shot? What do you need? Or you want all of them? And then they say, I'll take a detox shot. And then you give them a little taste of the Cleanse for Life, right? And you talk to them about, you know, why it works, why it's important, how it's part of, you know, run about it, et cetera. So, and you know, I wrote 5 shots to choose from. I mean, you actually could do like 9 shots, right? Between the Nox and the E shots and the Hydrate and all of the different things that we have. But this one works like, you know, if you're out and it's hot and you don't want to do shakes, you know, you don't have blender and you don't have electric, you just have everything lined up and you have little jugs of each so that you keep refilling. You have your product and you have your shot glasses, and, you know, just make it like, you can almost, you know, I mean, make it like, what's that movie, Robin? Cocktails and Dreams? Like, be back there, like, almost being like the, you know, the bartenders with the show or whatever. Again, whatever's going to get people attracted to your energy, stopping because you're fun and engaging with you. That's all you want. And then to talk a little bit about the product, find a little bit about which of those 5 things or 6 things is the most important to them, and then connect with them after the show. This one's a fun one. Jenna, this one's a fun one. I could totally see you and Nikki doing this, right? At a summer festival or something?
We're going to go to Hawaii and visit Chelsea and do it with Chelsea.
Oh, excellent idea. I might come along.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
I think on one other call or somewhere, you got the wheel from Amazon.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
I had information on that at the end.
Okay, thank you.
No, because we got a lot of questions on that, and I'm willing to share it further, but I have it on the last slide so you can see some of the things that we purchased and where, and the actual clip from Amazon.
Great, thank you.
No problem. There's the wheel in action. This is when Dawn and I did a recent show, and the wheel we got was dry erase, and you could actually write on it with a marker, but because my writing's bad, I actually got clear stickers and printed them on a laser printer and then put them on. And I know it's sort of hard to see, but when you do your own wheel, you can choose whatever you want. So we had a raffle drawing, a meal bar, we did a healthy happy hour, and that's where we were trying to invite ourselves to people's homes to sort of set them up and have some of their friends over. We had a nutritional consultation. I'm trying to think, and the Mom Bomb. Mom Bomb was a big hit. When people got the Mom Bomb, we all yelled, Mom Bomb! And people would come over, and it was the e-shot, of course. And then you see the whole table set up. It was really simple. And the purpose of this slide is really, it's showing you the visuals and how we had it set up because people were coming for the wheel. But you just need to be approachable, and you have to be friendly, and people will just walk by. So I think we were constantly yelling out, come spin the wheel. You know you want to spin the wheel. You know, we just would make a really fun, festive time, and these shy people would sort of come over, and they'd be hesitant, and we'd be like, well, you have to fill this out and spin the wheel. And but we sort of engaged them and got to break the ice, I think.
Everyone.
Thank you.
Everyone will stop to spin the wheel. Everyone. It's like a universal. It's like there's something about it, like that you have to go over and spin the wheel. You don't even care what it is. Like you just want to, and you know you're going to win something, right? Everybody wins something. So it worked really, really well. So take the guesswork out of events. Get yourself a wheel, or if you're local, you can borrow this one and just get out there and use it as a way to start talking to people for real. It was very, very effective. And this was a small event. How many people do you think were at the event, Jill? Maybe
they always came about 100.
Yeah. Yeah. But we got a lot of leads out of that event.
We did. And we made a lot of connections with other vendors, and other vendors we got to come over and spin the wheel. And our raffle was simply one of the sample cups. So they would enter the raffle for that. And you'll notice that on the wheel, we weren't giving away product on every spin. We had things like a consultation and a free spin. So we sort of mixed it up where it's not like every time somebody spun, we were going to give away product. It was a mixed, we sort of did that strategically. So we had a variety of things to keep it interesting. So does anybody have any questions on this slide? Anything else?
I have a question. And you might have just said it and I might have missed it, and I apologize if that happened, but it says healthy happy hour. What does that entail?
It was the idea of saying, hey, have some girlfriends over. We'll come up and set up a healthy happy hour.
Okay, so it's like the sip and sample then. It's just you're offering that in that moment?
Yeah, that we would come do it, bring some friends over. We'd bring the party. We bring the healthy happy hour.
But we weren't necessarily going to, depending on how the conversation went when we talked to them, it didn't mean we were necessarily bringing Isogenics products, right? This was again, another opportunity for us to connect with people, bring some healthy options, and then hang around and talk to their friends maybe about some other healthy options that we use. But it wasn't going to be like, just all Isogenic stuff. We're still working on it, right, Jill, for that one?
Yeah, no, totally. Maybe we'd bring some of those healthy spiked seltzers, but then we'd also bring some of our whey thins. We would mix it up where it would be it would still be sort of casual, and they wouldn't feel like we were invading them with just selling.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we would bring the fun, and we want them to have fun with it and relax. Okay, and Dawn, I think this was the big point. So here are the cards we created, and Jenna sort of mentioned something like this. We had them fill out. We created a custom card for them to fill out before they got to do the raffle or spin the wheel. And you'll see here on the back, I wrote down where I had followed up with somebody, and I Facebooked them, but also I would write down notes like they're going away till the 8th and they're interested in the bars. So I would get them to fill out the front, and then I'd quickly take notes on the back, that day, so I'd remember. And then I took them home and I kept recording my follow-ups and where I was. So it was just, and they're nice size note cards. And I'll show you what I purchased for those. And those can be printed on any printer. It's really easy to create your own, and they're nice. They look a little more polished. So than just having note cards out. Dawn, I'll let you sort of speak to the hard work. Don't let the hard work go to waste.
Yeah, it's, you've spent the money to get the table. You've spent the time to prepare for it. You've spent the day at the event. You got to follow up. You have to actually schedule time that next week. Make sure when you schedule a trade show, you schedule in follow-up time the next week, because if it gets away 24 to 48 hours, you should be following up with everybody, and you should be saying, hey, it was great to meet you at the event. I really loved what you said about your daughters, X, Y, and Z, whatever the connecting piece was, right? You got to tell them. You have to follow up either by text or email or however you're going to follow up. Let them know you loved meeting them. Let them know you know who they are by telling them something about the conversation that you had or whatever your connection piece was. And confirm with them whatever was the time that you set up to speak. So within 24 to 48 hours, they should be hearing from you, and you should be confirming the appointment for that week. That should be the positive touch that they get, and not vomiting all over them, and not, here's 25 links. Just, it was great to meet you. I really loved talking to you about, horseback riding, and looking forward to talking to you Tuesday at 7 o'clock EST, and just reconfirm that connection. So really don't schedule the time and make sure you do it. Guilty. I'm guilty. Robin, I don't know about you, but I've gone, spent the money, worked the trade show, come home with 10 leads, but then not scheduled the follow-up time. And then they get away from you, and then they get old. And then you feel like, oh my God, I was supposed to call that. Oh my God. And then they feel stale. And then the longer you wait, the longer you're disconnected from them. And I don't know. You really want, it's important. Following up is really important. And so, did somebody have something to add?
I'll just say that I automatically go through and send them friend requests on Facebook.
Yeah.
I do that as well as like doing the more personal follow-up. I have all these people that I just connected with from the show that didn't even necessarily, like other vendors, et cetera. And I've just kept them in the loop and kept them, just broadening those prospects in your audience.
So the great thing about this show was this was a vendor show that was part of a networking group. So, and it's a group that meets pretty regularly. So we did the show, and that now we're going to the meetings, and we're seeing the same people that we saw that at the show. We're seeing them at the meeting. So we're getting those opportunities to reconnect, and they're knowing who we are, and we're putting an object in the swag bag every month. So I highly, highly encourage you all to find a group that's local, that's some kind of networking group. Maybe, hopefully they do fun events like that group tonight did. What was it? Was it the pottery one at the Vizards?
It was at Vizards, and they actually had a fashion show. I popped in for like an hour before I came home, and they had all these booths set up. They had like a little catering table. It was really nice. And I brought home the swag bag, which we also contributed to see what other people are putting in there. So it's always good to get the bag and see how your product or coupons compare. And when I walked in, I was greeted, and I knew all these people, and I went around to all the booths, which I think is important because I've been a booth person before. And I introduce myself, and I talk to them, and I tell them that I've done a booth before and talk about what I do. And, you can just network, but it's so natural. And you also have people who know you, and it's just a familiarity, which is good.
So if you get the opportunity.
Can I share something?
Yeah.
I want to try to make this quick, but when Ridgely and I had our first sip and sample a couple weeks ago, just talking about networking, we had the magic box, and it was a raffle, and we had those little index cards, your name, your address. We printed them off. We had a raffle, and the woman that won the raffle at our sip and sample, she is someone that I connected with, that I'm part of a group. It's a small group. It's New Canaan Women Mean Business. So it's all small businesses, New Canaan, where I have my consignment shop. Well, she won. Like, we picked her name, and she won. And I called her immediately. And I was like, Darcy, I cannot believe you won. She came to it. She filled out the card. She's like, oh my God, Denise, I'm so excited for you. Like, all this great stuff. Set up an appointment for her to consign, but I'm going to meet with her tomorrow, and she's going to open her magic box, and she has got so many goodies in there. She's going to be blown away. And we talked about losing weight. She tried I wouldn't say replenish, but she tried all the tips, and I think that she's going to be a huge person in our community. Just networking, and if she definitely wants to lose some weight, and she signs up, that's great. But if not, she's going to put the word out. She is going to be like the town crier. Knock on wood, because every time I say something, I jinx myself.
Not this.
But I just wanted to shout out, like, the little things matter. You never know.
And I love that you're meeting with her in person to like present and open the box. And when we did the shaker cup, I delivered it to the woman's home. She was actually very pregnant, and we customized it so it wouldn't have anything that she couldn't have. And I met her children. It was very cute. But I think it would be ideal.
Yes.
meet somebody for coffee and just say, hey, let's meet at the Starbucks and I can give you what you want. And then you can actually have that conversation. So I think what you're doing is ideal.
It's so fun. It's so real. Like, I like to keep it real. That's the thing. Like, social media, I always back off, but I like to be face to face. I don't know. That's just me. Sorry.
No, don't apologize. It's great. Anytime you can connect with people, and like this, the example that we're giving, like anytime you can get in with a group, like if any networking group around is having a holiday event or a holiday vendor fair, whatever, it's a no-brainer. Just commit, do the holiday event, and then go at least to, you know, a meeting every other month or every third month or whatever it might be, and reconnect with those people. It's really working that Jill and I are both going to this group and we're frequent attendees of the event because people are really getting to know us, and they know what we do, and the enrollments are coming, right, Jill?
Yep, and we're having our Sip and Sample Sunday, and I invited a lot of them, and some of them are bringing friends, and, you know, because it's great.
Okay, is that it?
I think, now I'm toggling. Sorry.
That's okay. Does anybody have any questions while we're making sure that that was the end? I think it was the end. I think that was the last slide. Does anybody have any questions?
Dawn, it's
No,
Tara.
this was great information.
Dawn, it's Tara.
Yes.
This was amazing. Absolutely freaking amazing. I hope all of you that are new and those of you that aren't new took a lot away from this call. I'm blown away, girls. I'm going to put my video on. That was really, really good. Also, just from my standpoint, I live in a very small town, which most of you know this. I do not live near Baltimore or near Philadelphia or near any big cities. So we don't have the opportunity we would have to travel at great distances to go to events like this. So what I did, and you can do this in any small town, is approach the gym. So I actually went to the general manager of our gym and volunteered Gail and I to actually be the host of our first annual Health and Wellness Expo. And it is scheduled for April 18th of 2018, and we currently have 75 vendors already signed up. And this is all from Gail and I. So if you live in a small town and you feel comfortable with your gym, I could tell you, I don't need to go over on this call how we're doing it, but we're bringing it here. I mean, that's so cool. Isn't that cool? That we're not having to travel, we're bringing it here. And since we're running it, we're going to be like the first booth as soon as you walk in. And anyway, so that's just another idea if you do live in a small town. But anyway, I just want to say this was an absolutely superior call. I appreciate it.
Right. And I got the last slide up. And the last slide, as I promised, I put the wheel we got, which is a 24-inch wheel. It was a large one. It's right here. So people can see it. And if you can't see it, I can email it to you. The Avery cards I buy, they're like $56.89. I can share that link, but these are all Amazon purchases. And then tonight for the swag bag, I thought I would take a quick shot of the cards we created. So these are the cards we stuck in the swag bags for that networking group tonight. Sometimes we just do coupons, but this time we actually attached a Nice Delight and sort of did a theme, and Halloween's coming. And so that's just an example of something we've stuck in a swag bag. And I think for the bags, like they do 50 bags for the first 50 people, and we pay $50. And if you do multiple, because they do one each month, they give you a discount. But that's sort of the price point. And, getting the word out. And people now know who we are, so it helps.
So we're taking focusing on this one group, but pick a group and just be really consistent with your touches and your attendance and showing up as a leader, showing up as I spoke at one of the events. Anyway, Any other questions? I mean, this is, you got to understand, Robin and I have been doing trade shows, some form of these shows for the last 10 years, right? And we've tried all different formulas and we've tried all different things. So you're getting kind of 10 years worth of what we've figured out works. Robin, did I miss anything? I don't know if you're still on the call, but
yeah, I stepped away for a little bit. I didn't get Crosby, but did you tell them about the scale that does the weight and the body mass and the all of that? Because those, honestly, think we need to go back to that because that worked amazing. I know we got a lot of good leads from that.
okay. So maybe what we'll do, I don't want to, well, we'll talk about it. So leave the call if you need to. I'll record it. I'll post the recording later. I actually forgotten about this, Jill. I didn't even tell you about it. There's scales out there that measure everything, right? They measure body fat and they measure what else? The scale. I don't know if Tara's
your body fat, your body mass, and your
visceral fat.
Yeah.
Your skeletal mass or something all these different readings. And so we actually, this was, I don't know, maybe more people have access to these scales now, but this was when kind of they were brand new, right? And you got all these readouts. And then we would take all of their numbers and we would tell them, we'll email you the results and what they mean and where you fall in the scale of like what's normal and what's not. And so we just took all their information. We had them stand on the scale. We got the readout. We wrote it all down. And we said, we'll email it to you. And then we used that as an opportunity to have the conversation, emailing them their results.
But we had a line. We had a line 10 people long every time we did it at our booth. And people would stand there and wait in line to get it done. And so we had people talking to them while they were in line the whole time. And then we'd get their information. So it was perfect.
Yeah, that was really, Omron was the scale, I think. Tori, if Tori's on this call, she might even remember what it is. I think it was an Omron scale. Anyway, a high-end scale that just did a lot of different readings. And they had to take their shoes and socks off, like their feet had to touch the scale. So it was this whole big, whole big production, but it was really effective. And that worked really well for corporate health fairs. We did that, Robin, remember, at a lot of the corporate health fairs that we were doing.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the one, Cheryl.
And I have Dawn, I didn't tell you, I'm doing an event on Sunday. So this is all perfect timing.
What are you doing?
It's a charity event out in Reston. It's done by Eric's condo, and it's all the buildings in the area, and it's for charity. So she's like, you have to donate. So I'm thinking if it's free enrollment still on Sunday, I do free enrollment, and then if they join, $25 goes to the charity, whoever enrolls. Hopefully that'll get people, people with charity. So I'm hoping.
Awesome.
Yeah, and all the people that are running it already know about Isagenix. They're like, you have to come. You have to tell us all about it. So I'm saying, I'm just calling. I'm pointing to the stands right now. I'm saying 5 enrollments. 5. 5.
Pointing to the stands. All right, everybody. I know this was a long call. We had a lot to cover. I will post the recording so you can go back and look at it later. Jill's got the links for the wheel and the other information if you want. We liked our little eat chocolate and lose weight, say what? We liked our little cards. It just, whatever it takes to get people to talk to you. That's all there is to it. So have a great evening. Talk to you all later.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Thanks, Jill.